So in this lab, we do fixed block subnetting for A, B, and C. I started a B, class B IP address, 129.3.3.2.0/24 is what I give you. I started it, identified it was a class B. I need 120 hosts, or I have 120 hosts. I need to accommodate this. I chose a /25 address, so it gave me 128 addresses. Out of those 128, I have 126 usable, so that does 120 does fit in there. So we're now at a /25. I borrow 1 bit for this, so we have 7 bits left over. I can figure out my subnet mask by my 8 lines. So I have a 128 and a 128. As you see that the class B subnet mask is no longer 255.255.0.0 like in our class 24 would be, but it has changed to 255.255.255.128. Now as we start to subnet this, it is important. What was it? 129, 3.3.2.0. So it's important to look at this and verify what a class B is. You know, the class B octet is based on this number and this number. You know, the octets are based off the first octet and the second octet. If we're doing a class A, it'd be based off only the first octet. If we're doing a class C, it's the first, the second, and the third octet. So in a class B, we're paying attention to the first and second. Those are belonging to the network. The last two belong to the hosts. So as we start to subnet, our very first subnet should be a reflection of this. So we have 129.3.0.0. It's once again it's 0.0 because it's the first subnet. It's the very first subnet, so we're starting at the very beginning of a class B IP. So we cannot change the second 2 octets. We cannot change these. But when we start at the network address of the very first class B IP. So then we'd say that's the network address. The range would be a 1 to a 128, right? Yeah. To a 128. Oops, I'm wrong there. 126. 126.127.128. 129. 255. 254. Now that I've reached my max, my third subnet is going to increment the next spot over. So pay attention. This matches this. It incremented 1 because in a class B we can keep on going. Class B will keep on incrementing till this number reaches the highest value it can, which eventually be 255. So then we start to subnet again, or start to say define our subnets. .1. So it's actually going to be 1.1 to 1.126 with the broadcast of 1.127. So here we have a Class B subnetted, and the subnets will continue to go on just until the third octet hits 255, 255 at the very end. 255.255, and that'll be the end. Dot 255, 254, dot 255, dot 129, and this will be 255, dot 129. So that subnet will just keep on increasing all the way till we get to the end of that one. So now let's try supernetting. Same example. 200. Was it 200? 129. 129. 129. 32320. That's what we start off with. Now to SuperNet, we're going to be working in the opposite direction. So we're going to have two rows. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. A dot there. This represents our third and fourth octet in our IP addressing or subnet mask. Once again, say we need 500 hosts. Slash 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So this is the third octet. This is the fourth octet. So since we need to move leftward, 128, you can say that this one would still be our /25, but we're not going to go that way. Our /24 would be not changing anything. So our /23, /22, etc. So it starts to get smaller as we move to supernetting to the left. Our prefix starts to get smaller. So then we're going to say, okay, we need to figure this out. I need to accommodate 500. I cannot use any of this bottom row because it's 256 or less. So I have to get into this level up top. What am I going to choose? I'm going to borrow 6, 7. I'm going to borrow 7 there. Leave 1 off. And that'll move me to up all these bits here. So what I'm going to do is then add 128 I have to get on my calculator. It's going to be 254 in the end. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, it will be 254 since we're not using the 0 spot and any of these. So when we start to write it, our subnet mask is going to be 255.255.254. And this reflects the third octet here. Because out of that we'd have, if we use this last one, we have 255, but we're not using that last one, so it's going to be 254, not using the fourth octet at all, so it's going to be a 0. So now we're supernetting to class B. We have the subnet mask for each network requiring, let's see, 512, which gives us 510 usable. 500 fits into 510. And then we go into supernetting. 129.320. 129.320. 129.300. Why do we start here again? Because this is our very first subnet. And at class B, once again, we are only paying attention to the network portion only and not going to modify that. So we're creating a supernet. Let's see, the first one, 129.3.0.0.1. And we needed 512, I believe. Yeah, 512. So we go to 1. We need 512. So we'll increment 1 and then go to 254. And our broadcast will be 255. So what I've done here is consumed all the addresses all the way to 255. I've incremented the next octet, our third octet, 1, and then consumed everything but 1 to get me 510 addresses. If we add on the broadcast address and our starting address, we have 512 total addresses. Our next start would be 2.0, and that's because after our broadcast of 1.255, we have to increment again. So our next row would be .2.0, yep, or 2.1, I'm sorry. 2.1, 2, 2, oops, 3. So once again, I incremented all the way to 255 on this digit, incremented 1 to get 3, went all the way down up to 254 again to get 510 addresses, and then my broadcast here will be 3.255. So each row I'm consuming 512 addresses and incrementing. Think of it as like you're driving down the road. You know, your car mileage increments the far right side, all can go first, which is 10, and then it starts again.